Everybody, today I will discuss quantitative credit control measures of RBI. We know that credit control is one of the most important function of RBI. Two types of credit control measures are there. It is the responsibility of the RBI to regulate credit and money supply in the economy through two methods or measures. RBI control the credit and money supply in the economy to fulfill the objectives like economic stability and price stability in the economy. As an apex monetary authority of the country, RBI imitate two credit control measures. One is quantitative credit control methods or measures. Second one, qualitative or selective credit control measures or methods. Two measures of credit control is same as two methods of credit control. So today I will discuss quantitative credit control methods or measures of RBI to control money supply and to control credit in the economy. So the definition of quantitative measures of credit control: through quantitative measures of credit control, RBI control the total volume of credit in the economy. To control the total volume of credit in the economy. Three components or three instruments of quantitative measures of credit control are bank rate and repo rate. Second one, open market operations. Third one, legal reserve ratio. In previous videos already I have discussed separately bank rate and repo rate, open market operations and legal reserve ratio. If you search my YouTube videos, you can find the proper clarification of bank rate and repo rate, also reverse repo rate, open market operations and legal reserve ratio. Again, I will discuss these three important components of quantitative credit control methods to regulate credit and money supply in the economy. First, I will discuss repo rate and bank rate. First, I will discuss repo rate. That repo rate is the rate at which commercial banks borrow from the RBI for short period of time by selling securities or bonds with an agreement to repurchase the securities on a certain date at a predetermined price. Or alternatively, the repo rate is the rate at which commercial banks borrow from the RBI against approved securities for short period of time. Again, I want to clarify. Repo rate is the rate at which commercial banks borrow from the RBI for short period of time against securities, and commercial banks make agreement with the RBI to buy back or repurchase the assets on the maturity date or on a specific date at predetermined price. So specific date should be mentioned by the commercial bank, on which date the commercial bank want to buy back the securities and repay the predetermined price. Predetermined price is how much amount the bank has borrowed with interest, because repo rate is one type of interest. It is the rate at which the commercial banks borrow from the RBI for short period of time. Short period means within 90 days. Okay. So short period means within 90 days. The maturity date is within 90 days. Within 90 days, again, the commercial bank buy back the assets and repay the predetermined price. So predetermined price is the how much amount the bank has borrowed and interest. Clear? So alternatively, the repo rate is the rate at which commercial banks borrow from the RBI against approved securities for short period of time. So in this case, in repo rate, collateral assets are involved, because for short period of time, commercial banks borrow from the RBI against collateral assets, and again commercial banks repurchase these collateral assets on the maturity date at predetermined price. And predetermined price is the principal plus interest. Simply it is the rate at which commercial banks borrow from RBI against securities for short period of time. So when the commercial banks facing financial shortage or any financial shortfalls or financial deficit, at that time they want to sell securities and want to borrow from the RBI for short period of time. To control inflation during inflationary situation or at the time of excess demand situation, already I told you, inflation, it means continuously price level increases. In this situation, it is happened only due to excess demand. Okay. So in this case, poor people are severely affected. Poverty rate would be more. There would be wide gap between the rich and poor people. So in this situation, consumers are adversely affected. So in this case, RBI hike the repo rate to control the liquidity in the banking system. When repo rate increases, then short-term borrowing from RBI is costly one for the commercial banks. It means, increasing repo rate means RBI lending to the commercial banks. Okay, RBI lending to the commercial banks at high rate of interest against approved securities for short period of time. So short-term borrowing from RBI is costly one for the commercial banks. So commercial banks avoid to borrow more funds against approved securities. Basically, commercial banks avoid to borrow more funds because now high rate of interest charged by the RBI. So due to this, excess reserve in the commercial banks decreases. Excess reserve means after maintaining minimum reserve, how much money left, how much fund left, it is the excess reserve. And excess reserve is used for the lending purposes. So when commercial banks avoid to borrow more funds against approved securities, then excess reserve in the commercial banks decreases. When excess reserve decreases, then commercial banks charge high rate of interest from the public. It means commercial banks lending to the public at high rate of interest. So borrowings from the commercial banks is costly one or dearer one for the public. Okay, when the commercial banks charge high rate of interest from the public, or commercial banks lending to the public at high rate of interest, then in this case definitely public avoid to borrow more funds from the commercial banks. Public means traders, merchant holders, businessmen, individuals, investors. Okay, they avoid borrow more funds from the commercial banks because commercial banks charge high rate of interest. So automatically demand for credit reduces and less money goes to the economy. Automatically money supply decreases. You know that public borrow funds from RBI and then expense it to fulfill their varied purposes or to fulfill their needs. So when demand for credit reduces, then automatically money supply also decreases. Less flow of money generated in the economy or less liquidity generated in the economy. It leads to decrease in money supply. Money supply means money held by the public at a particular point of time. How much money is available in the hand of the people at a particular point of time? Because for different purposes, you know, public borrow from the RBI. Suppose individuals borrow from the commercial banks. Individuals borrow from the commercial banks to purchase some appliances, for educational loan, clear, for making construction of home. Similarly, investors also borrow from the commercial banks for purchasing additional machine tools and equipments, to expand the plant size, to purchase raw materials. So like this. So when money supply decreases, then it leads to decrease in aggregate demand. Aggregate demand on goods and services decreases, then price level come down and inflationary situation eliminated. Similarly, you see, to control deflation, deflationary situation when price level continuously falls and producers are adversely affected, then producers facing losses, then they reduce production, they retrench or lay off some workers, unemployment is rising. Okay, this situation is worst one. So it is the responsibility of the RBI to control this situation. It is also deflation, it is deficient demand situation because demand is very less. Less money is available in the pocket of the people. So when deflationary situation is prevailed, then RBI reduce the repo rate to inject more liquidity in the banking system. So when RBI reduce the repo rate, short-term borrowing from RBI is cheaper one for the commercial banks. Means RBI lending to the commercial banks by charging less rate of interest. So it is an incentive for the commercial banks to borrow more funds from the RBI against approved securities. So in this time, commercial banks are having desire to borrow more funds because rate of interest is less. So excess reserve in the commercial banks increases. Then commercial banks lending to the public by charging less rate of interest because excess reserve with the commercial banks is more. So commercial banks lending to the public by charging less rate of interest. So borrowing from the commercial banks is cheaper one. Then money supply in the economy increases. Then more money is injected in the economy because public borrow more funds from the commercial banks. So more money injected in the economy. There is flow of more money in the economy. The money supply increases. Okay, it leads to increase in aggregate demand. So aggregate demand on goods and services increases, then price level goes up and deflationary situation or deficient demand situation controlled. Similarly, you see bank rate. In this case, actually any type of collateral is not involved. It is the rate at which commercial banks borrow from the RBI for longer period of time through discounting bills of exchange. But alternatively, it is the rate at which the RBI lending to the commercial banks for longer period of time. Difference between repo rate and bank rate. Repo rate RBI lending to the commercial banks for short period of time. But in case of bank rate, RBI lending to the commercial banks for long period of time. Long period means less than 1 year. Okay, it is around 364 days. Clear? In case of repo rate, the commercial banks must sell collateral assets, but in bank rate there is no involvement of any collaterals, and always bank rate is more than repo rate, because in repo rate it is one type of short term borrowing from the RBI and also collateral is involved. Commercial banks, they must sell collateral assets to the RBI, but in case of bank rate there is no collaterals involved, and commercial banks borrow from the RBI for long period of time, or simply alternatively it is the rate at which the RBI lending to the commercial banks for longer period of time. Also, discounting bills of exchange, in my previous video also I have discussed it. You can find in YouTube. Also, it is a written promise. It is a written promise by the commercial bank to repay the loan amount on the maturity date. Okay, and in this case one discount apply on the face value of the bill. Discount apply on the face value of the bill. Suppose face value of the bill is 1 lakh and RBI charge 20% discount rate. Then RBI lend 80,000 to the commercial bank. Okay, and again on the maturity date, commercial bank repay 1 lakh rupees to the RBI. Clear? You see my video, discounting bills of exchange. Alternatively, simply it is the rate at which the RBI lending to the commercial banks for longer period of time. Similarly, to control inflation, to control inflationary situation or excess demand situation. During inflationary situation, RBI raise the bank rate. Okay, to control, but to restrain liquidity in the banking system. When RBI raise the bank rate, then long-term borrowing from the RBI is dearer one. So, commercial banks hike of bank rate, increase of bank rate means RBI lending to the commercial banks for long period of time at more rate of interest. So commercial banks avoid to borrow more funds from the RBI automatically, because RBI charge more rate of interest. Okay, so borrow from the RBI by the commercial banks is costly or dearer one. So commercial banks avoid to borrow more funds from the RBI. Liquidity or flow of money decreases in the banking system. It means excess reserve in the commercial banks decreases, because commercial banks borrow funds from RBI, and again this fund lending by the commercial banks to the public. But in this case, commercial banks avoid to borrow more funds from the RBI because bank rate is more, rate of interest is more. So when excess reserve in the commercial banks decreases, commercial banks raise the lending rate. Commercial banks charging more rate of interest from the public. So borrowing from the commercial banks is costly one for the public. Demand for credit reduces and it leads to decrease in money supply. Decrease in money supply leads to decrease in aggregate demand. Price level come down. So inflationary situation eliminated. In previous section, already I have discussed in case of repo rate. The same points you have written. To control deflation during deflationary situation, RBI reduced the bank rate to inject more liquidity in the banking system. It means long-term borrowing from the RBI is cheaper one. When long-term borrowing from the RBI is cheaper one, then commercial banks borrow more funds from the RBI. It is an incentive for the commercial banks to borrow more funds from the RBI. So excess reserves in the commercial banks increases. Clear? Commercial banks lending to the public at low rate of interest, because already excess reserve is there with the commercial banks. So commercial banks lending to the public at low rate of interest. Similarly, it is an incentive for the public to borrow more funds from the commercial banks, because when the commercial banks charge less rate of interest to the public, then public want to borrow more funds from the commercial banks. So due to this demand for credit increases, it leads to increase in money supply. Again, more money injected in the economy. Again, more money is coming to the hand of the public. Clear? So increase in money supply leads to increase in aggregate demand. Aggregate demand on goods and services increases because money supply increases. More money is available in the economy. More money is available with the public. Price level goes up, so deflationary situation controlled. Okay. Second component of quantitative credit control methods or quantitative credit control measures is open market operations. Also, you can find open market operations video in my YouTube. I have clarified properly, so you can enjoy also. Please subscribe to me if you like my video. Second one, open market operations. It refers to the selling and buying of government securities. Selling government securities to the public and commercial banks, and buying of government securities and treasury bills from the public and commercial banks. So in this case, selling and buying of government securities and treasury bills in the open market by the central bank to and from the public and commercial banks of the country with a view to regulate the credit and money supply in the economy. So in this case, RBI selling government securities and treasury bills to the public and commercial banks, and also buy back the government securities and treasury bills from the public and commercial banks in the open market, again to regulate the credit and money supply in the economy. When RBI selling the securities and when RBI repurchase or buy back the securities, I will discuss. RBI is authorized to sell or purchase treasury bills and government securities. So you see, to control inflation or excess demand. Excess demand is there in the economy. Okay? More flow of money is there in the economy. More money is available with the public. So they demand more. When they demand more on goods and services, automatically price level continuously increases. So in the inflationary situation, RBI selling government securities to the public and commercial banks in the open market. RBI selling government securities. If RBI is selling to the public, then all the public actually having account in commercial banks. Public means traders, businessmen, merchant holders, investors, producers, individuals, all are having account with the commercial banks. So when RBI is selling government securities to the public, then public withdraw money from the commercial banks and pay to the RBI. Similarly, if RBI is selling government securities to the commercial banks, again commercial banks pay to the RBI. So in both the cases, excess reserve in the commercial banks decreases. So due to this, RBI suck out excess liquidity from the banking system. Liquidity or flow of money in the banking system curtailed. It means excess reserves in the commercial banks decreases, because RBI is selling government security to the public, and public having account in commercial banks, they withdraw money and pay to the RBI. Similarly, when RBI selling to the commercial banks, commercial banks also pay to the RBI. So in this case, excess reserve in the commercial banks decreases. Then same thing, when excess reserve in the commercial banks decreases, then commercial banks lending to the public at high rate of interest. Borrowing from the commercial banks is dearer or costly one. Demand for credit reduces. It means individuals and business personnel avoid to borrow more funds from the banks. All individuals, businessmen, traders, merchant holders, investors, they avoid to borrow more funds from the banks because commercial banks charge high rate of interest, and borrowing from the commercial banks is costly or dearer one. So automatically money supply decreases in the economy. Okay, because always public borrow from the commercial banks and they incur expenditure on varieties of goods and services to fulfill their purposes. So when public avoid to borrow more funds from the banks, then automatically money supply in the economy decreases. When money supply in the economy decreases, then aggregate demand on goods and services also decreases. When demand on goods and services decreases, then price level come down. Then inflationary situation or excess demand situation controlled. Excess demand situation eliminated. Okay, so just opposite you see, to control deflation or deficient demand situation. When deflationary situation generated in the economy, RBI purchase or buy back government securities from the public and commercial banks to inject more money in the economy. Because deflation, you know, continuously price level decreases. Producers are adversely affected. Producers cut off the production. Okay, producers retrain some or lay off some workers, remove some workers. Unemployment is arising. Okay, investors, they are ready to invest less funds on production purposes because demand is very less. Okay, so in this case, RBI purchase or buy back government securities from the public and commercial banks. Okay, it means when RBI buy back government securities from the public and commercial banks, then money transfer from RBI to the public and commercial banks. When money transfer from RBI to the public, then public deposit this fund in commercial banks. Or similarly, when RBI buy back government securities from the commercial banks, so money transfer from RBI to commercial banks. So in both the cases, excess liquidity infused in the banking system. It means excess reserve in the commercial banks increases. Then when excess reserve in the commercial banks increases, then due to excess reserve in the commercial banks lending to the public at low rate of interest. Already I have discussed. Then borrowing from the commercial banks is cheaper one. Due to this, demand for credit increases. It is an incentive for the investors and on individuals to borrow more funds from the banks. It leads to increase in money supply in the economy. Increase in money supply leads to increase in aggregate demand on goods and services. Then price level goes up. So deflationary or deficient demand situation eliminated. Already I have discussed. The same situation is coming. Then third component is legal reserve ratio. In case of legal reserve ratio, two minimum reserve requirements are there. So all the commercial banks are bound to maintain two minimum reserves. Okay, one reserve with the RBI and another reserve with itself. So it is the LRR is the legal reserve ratio, abbreviation from it is LRR. It is the fraction of deposits of commercial banks, which is legally compulsory for them to maintain one reserve with RBI and another reserve with itself. Two minimum reserve requirements here for commercial banks according to the monetary policy of the government, according to the guideline of the according to the monetary policy of the RBI, according to the guideline of the RBI. So all the commercial banks are bound and it is compulsory for them to maintain one reserve with RBI and another reserve with itself. So LRR is fixed by the RBI. It has two components. One is cash reserve ratio CRR and another is statutory liquidity ratio SLR. Again separately you see my video in YouTube and search legal reserve ratio of Asit Kumar Patnaik. Okay, you subscribe my video also if you like it, because I have clarified properly legal reserve ratio. So many things already I have added. Clear? Again, LRR has two components. One is cash reserve ratio, another is statutory liquid ratio. Both components CRR and SLR fixed by the RBI to regulate credit and money supply for bringing economic stability in the economy. Okay, in all the three instruments, bank rate, repo rate, open market operations, legal reserve ratio, these are the weapons, these are the instruments of RBI to regulate credit and money supply in the economy, to fulfill the objectives like economic stability and price stability. First one, I will discuss cash reserve ratio. It is the minimum percentage of deposits. Deposits means demand and time deposits. The liability is same. Liabilities means commercial banks are liable to pay to the customers on demand. So in case of demand liabilities, demand deposits same. Time liabilities and time deposits same. If you deposit money in the bank, then bank is liable to repay it on demand or to repay it on maturity date. In case of demand liabilities or in case of demand deposits, commercial banks are liable to repay the customers on demand. Demand deposits, all facilities available. It is saving account deposit. It is available for small savers. ATM card, check, net banking, mobile banking. Okay, all facilities available. Demand deposit. At any time we can withdraw money. Okay, from the bank through ATMs, through check. We can transfer through mobile banking and net banking. We can book tickets. We can pay the bill in hotels, restaurants, and in shopping malls. So, deposits means demand and time. Time deposits is time liabilities. Time deposits means people deposit the money in the commercial banks for fixed period of time. After maturity date, commercial bank repay the maturity amount. Maturity amount, how much amount of money the person has deposited plus interest. It is time liabilities. So here in net demand and time liabilities, with some interbanking deposits are there. The bank has deposits of other banks. So deposits of other banks are not considered when the particular bank maintain the minimum reserve. So deposits of other banks must be deducted from the deposits. Deposits means demand and time deposits. So CRR is the minimum percentage of deposits of commercial banks, which is kept in cash form with RBI. So each and every commercial bank keep the minimum percentage of deposits with RBI in the form of cash. Minimum percentage means minimum percentage declared by the RBI or central bank of the country. So I will discuss when it is increases or when it is decreases. I will discuss. To control inflation or excess demand situation, at the time of inflationary or excess demand situation, RBI hike the CRR. When this minimum reserve increases, then automatically excess reserve decreases, because excess reserve is over and above the minimum reserve requirement of the commercial banks. So when RBI hike the CRR, then liquidity or flow of money reduced in the banking system. It means excess reserve in the banking system decreases automatically, because each and every commercial bank maintain more reserve with RBI. When CRR increases, so automatically excess reserve, how much amount of money left with the commercial banks decreases. So excess reserve decreases. Due to curtailment of excess reserve, commercial banks charge high rate of interest from the public. Already I have discussed, previous section. Borrowing from the commercial banks is costly one. Okay. When the excess reserve with the commercial banks decreases, then commercial banks lending to the public at high rate of interest. So same thing I have written, borrowing from the commercial banks is costly one. So public avoid to borrow more funds from the banks. Public, individuals, traders, businessmen and investors. Money supply in the economy decreases. It leads to decrease in aggregate demand on goods and services. Okay. So price level come down. Inflationary or excess demand situation controlled. Similarly, at the time of deflationary or deficient demand situation, RBI reduced the CRR. When the commercial bank maintain less reserve with the RBI, then its excess reserve increases. When the particular commercial bank maintain less reserve, then its excess reserve automatically increases. So RBI reduced the CRR. When CRR reduces, then excess liquidity or flow of money generated in the banking system. It means there is increase in excess reserve in the banking system. Okay. When minimum reserve is less, then excess reserve increases and vice versa. When minimum reserve is more, then excess reserve decreases. And always commercial banks use the excess reserve for lending purposes, for provision of loans to the public. So due to the reduction of CRR, excess liquidity or flow of money generated in the banking system, it means there is increase in excess reserve in the banking system. Due to excess reserve, commercial banks charge less rate of interest from the public. Borrowing from the commercial banks is cheaper one. Public borrow more funds from the banks automatically. When the commercial banks charge less rate of interest, then it is an incentive for the public to borrow more funds from the banks. Then automatically money supply in the economy increases. There is more money injected in the economy, more money flow in the economy, more money is available with the public. So automatically demand on goods and services increases, aggregate demand, overall demand services increases. So price level starts rising. So deflationary or deficient demand situation controlled. Similarly, the second component of legal reserve ratio, it is statutory liquid ratio. Already I told two reserves, one reserve maintained by the commercial bank with RBI and another reserve with itself. So SLR is the minimum percentage of deposits, again net demand and time liabilities. Liabilities is same deposits that a commercial bank has to maintain in the form of liquid cash, gold, approved securities and deposits in other banks with itself. So it is the minimum percentage of deposits kept by the commercial bank with itself in the form of cash, some portion cash, some portion of the reserve in the form of gold, some portion of the reserve in the form of approved securities and some portion of the reserve in the form of deposits in other banks. But first one, in case of cash reserve ratio, the minimum reserve maintained by the commercial bank with RBI in the form of cash only. But here, in case of statutory liquid ratio, it is the minimum percentage of deposits that a commercial bank has to maintain. It is the minimum percentage of deposits kept by the commercial bank with itself in the form of cash, gold, approved securities and deposits in other banks with itself. Clear? Suppose for example, a commercial bank want to keep 1 lakh as a minimum reserve with itself. So some portion of the 1 lakh in the form of cash, some portion of the 1 lakh in the form of gold, some portion of 1 lakh in the form of approved securities and also deposits in other banks, not only in the form of cash. Okay, it is basically the reserve requirement that banks are expected to keep before offering credit to consumers, because before offering credit to consumers, the commercial banks maintain this reserve. So again, it is the minimum percentage of deposits that a commercial bank has to maintain in the form of liquid cash, gold, approved securities and deposits in other banks with itself. Suppose for example, a bank, commercial bank, want to keep 5 lakh in the form of reserve with itself. Suppose 1 lakh in the form of cash, 2 lakhs in the form of gold, 3 lakh, another 1 lakh in the form of approved securities, and another 1 lakh in the form of deposits in other banks. Okay, clear? SLR also fixed by the RBI to control credit and money supply in the economy. In case of inflationary situation or excess demand situation, RBI hiked the SLR. RBI hiked the SLR means, again, the minimum reserve requirement for the commercial banks increases. When minimum reserve increases, then automatically excess reserve decreases. So same thing, due to this, liquidity or flow of money in the banking system decreases. Liquidity or flow of money means excess reserve. When more excess reserve, more liquidity. Less excess reserve, less liquidity. But more excess reserve, more flow of money in the banking system. Less excess reserve, less flow of money in the banking system. So it means excess reserve in the commercial banks decreases. Then automatically commercial banks lending to the public at high rate of interest. Borrowing from the banks for the public is costly one. Public avoid to borrow more funds from the banks. Money supply in the economy decreases. It leads to decrease in aggregate demand and price level come down. Inflationary or excess demand situation eliminated. Already I have discussed same points you have mentioned here. To control deflationary situation or deficient demand situation, RBI reduced the SLR. Okay, RBI reduced the SLR. When statutory liquidity ratio decreases, then again minimum reserve requirement with the commercial banks decreases. When minimum reserve requirement decreases, then excess reserve increases. So already I told you, excess reserve means excess liquidity or flow of money generated in the banking system. Due to more excess reserve, commercial banks lending to the public at low rate of interest. Borrowing from the commercial banks is cheaper one for the public. Public borrow more funds from the banks. Money supply in the economy increases and it leads to increase in aggregate demand. Clear? Price level goes up in the economy and deflationary situation controlled. Okay? Okay? Thank you. In the next video, I will discuss selective credit control methods or qualitative credit control methods to regulate credit and money supply in the economy by the RBI. Thank you.